This is my new battery generator that I just finished. It's been a little project I might have been working on for several weeks now. I've always wanted one of these. Of course, you can buy them, pre-made, that they all come together as one unit. For example, I got this little Jackery Explorer 300. This little guy works pretty good. We used it on a little trip we did on a houseboat not too long ago, and it was great for when we wanted to turn off the generator and not have to listen to the gas generator noise, but still be able to run some little appliances. This thing won't run a microwave or anything like that, obviously, but it's great for charging a phone, laptop, and actually the last several hours we were charging all of our phones for pretty much the entire day, and then charge it back up overnight and work great. But the downside of these is something goes wrong, you got to replace the whole thing. There's no way to, replace the battery. Eventually the battery's going to go out. It's just throw the whole thing in the trash and move on and get another one. So that's the bright side of building your own. You have all the different components. You can lay them out just like you'd like to. You can think ahead about, what's going to be most likely to go out at some point and need replacement. So yeah, this is why I wanted to build one. Plus it's just fun. So I built this out of a toolbox that I got from Harbor Freight. I think it was about $65 for the toolbox. It's just plastic, but it is pretty durable. It's pretty sturdy. When you turn it on, the cooling fan comes on right there. Cooling fan's blowing out. I actually originally intended on putting the inverter inside, but I ran out of space because I opted for a big battery and didn't leave myself enough space for putting the inverter inside. So this design ended up with the inverter on the outside. This is a Renogy 1000 watt pure sine wave. It'll run you about 175, I think I got it on Amazon for. I like it. You got your 2 outlets here and the USB. But then I have electrical conduit running off this guy right here, so that I can power another outlet that I have on the side that I'll show you. It's also got a connector for a remote, so if you do have it located far away and need to be able to switch it on and off, there's a remote, a panel you can hook up to it. So just switch it on right there. Just kind of kicks on the cooling fan for a second, and then it's ready to go. So I got a good solid 4-gauge wire coming off of these guys, which I'll show you the wiring in a second. And then on this side, this is a dual outlet. I went with a GFI, just like your standard one you'll find in a bathroom in your household. And that's what's wired off of this guy right here. And then that's actually what a remote looks like. When I originally intended on having the inverter inside the box, then that was going to be the switch to turn the inverter on and off. But I just have it fill in a hole right now because there's no point in having a remote when I can just turn it on and off right there. That's just a little vent I got on Amazon, super cheap, like $5. But that's just an air vent, so for the cool air to go in when the fan on the other side is blowing out. And then just a couple little components just wired straight to the battery. Just a little voltage meter right there, just to give me a ballpark voltage. And a couple options for USB BC plugs. And then this is going to be for a solar charger. I know it's not your typical what you see when you buy solar panels, but I had a ton of those left over, so I wired up my solar panel to be able to connect with that. All right, so now I'll show you the inside. Lid just comes right off. First thing you see, it's a 300 amp hour eco-worthy lithium phosphate battery. As you know, lithium batteries are known for being, way more lightweight than normal batteries. Not a 300 amp hour though, that one's pretty heavy. But yeah, I got it up in there, fits nicely, leaves a little bit of room around the sides. The positive goes to the battery switch. The battery then goes around here to 250 amp fuse, and then 2 bus bars. Negative just goes straight to the negative bus bar. It's hard to see down in there, but I actually have a lithium charger. It's down below there. So if I want to just charge it with a regular socket, I got a plug and just charge it with a regular socket, and it's already pre-wired. So I have a little, it's this 10 gauge that goes to the charging system. The charging system is also fused on a 30 amp fuse. And like I said, there's a lithium charger. It's down below that positive bus bar there. And then there's also a solar charge controller that I can use to charge it as well. So those are both wired through that 30 amp fuse for charging the battery. That was the switch for the fan that, so I can change the setting from off to low, medium, high. That's why it was off a minute ago. I had forgot to turn it back on. To power the fan, it's a USB connection. So I have just a USB adapter. It's tucked away down there to run the fan. Let's see. You can't see it, but down there below the solar charge controller is just a little, just a lower voltage bus bar that I use for the little DC accessories, like like the USB ports and the little USB adapter for the fan in there. So yeah, that's it. Haven't tried it out yet. The truth here. Let's see if it'll run a coffee maker. I mean, let's be honest, it's the most important thing if the power ever goes out, right? Lights came on. It's a good sign. Grinding. Dang, that's going to be some strong coffee. Maybe I should have adjusted the setting first. The fan on the inverter just kicked on. I guess the draw probably picked up when it started heating the water. And it's just finishing up. We got us a pot of coffee, folks. We'll see what it can run. I'm hoping it can be able to run just some basic accessories. Obviously not an AC unit or anything like that, but maybe a fan, maybe a TV for a couple hours. After when we have a power outage. It's a little big for taking camping. It's going to be kind of heavy and cumbersome to carry this thing around, but it might be worth it depending on the situation. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.